So I'll do one more substitution, and then we'll go on to elimination. So x minus 3y equals 2. X plus 2y equals 15. So step one, we solve for the one that has a coefficient of 1. Do we have any choices here? There's just the one. Which is it? So we got to solve this one for x. It's the only one of our four variables that has a coefficient of 1. So how would we solve this one for x? So subtract the 2y. So we have x equals negative 2y plus 15. That's step one. We solve for a variable. So then we plug this in, this expression, in for the x in the other equation. Okay, and we distribute again. So combining like terms there, what would we end up with? Which is doing this, negative 4y minus 3y, negative 7y plus 30. So negative 7y equals negative 28. Do what? So our y value of the point where these two intersect is 4. And we just need to find the x value. How do we do that? The one we solved for or the original? Yeah. So plugging that value in back up here, negative 8 plus 15, or x equals 7. So 7, 4 is where those two lines would intersect. So any questions over substitution? Right here. This was step one where we solved this one. So yeah, we just put the 4 in for the y there and the one we solved for. Any others? So for the elimination method, your goal is to eliminate each of your x's or your y, and then solve for that variable. Okay, some of these are pretty simple. Some of them can be more difficult. X plus 2y equals 10. So elimination method, this is the one where you want to have your variables, your x's and your y's, lined up perfectly. You want the x's right on top of each other and the y's as well. And x plus y equals 6. It's basically an addition or a subtraction problem when you're eliminating. That's why you want to have everything lined up. So what you are looking for with elimination method is any of these coefficients that are the same. In the past, you've probably been told they need to be one positive and one negative. You don't really have to do that for me. It's just the way I teach it. If you want to do it that way, you can. That's totally fine. But for me, you can have one positive, one negative, or they can both be the same. It really doesn't matter. So, do we have any coefficients, either our x's or y's, that are exactly the same? Yes. What are the coefficients of our x's? They are both 1. We have one x here and one x here. What are the coefficients of our y's? 2 and 1. Those are not exactly the same. So, if I have 1x and 1x, would I add those together to eliminate them or subtract? Subtract. So, what you need to do on all of these problems is put that second equation in parentheses. And in this case, we just said we wanted to subtract them. Don't write this down. But if you were to add these two together, you didn't know for sure. You did x plus x, what would you get? 2x. Is that eliminating? No, you still have 2x there. And that's how you know you need to subtract them. If the signs are the same, if they're both positive or both negative, you're going to subtract. So then x minus x would be what? 0. So those cancel. We just eliminated the x's. That's what elimination means. You're eliminating one of the other variables. So then in here we would have 2y minus 1y, which is y, and 10 minus 6, which is 4. We just found the first value. Right? So in our point where these two intersect, it's something 4. How would we get the x value? Plug it into what? Which one? The x. Plug them into either one of the original. With elimination method, you plug this value into either one of the original equations. Doesn't matter which. It just has to be an original. So one right out of the front. So if we plug that into the top equation, we would have x plus 2 times 4 equals 10. So x plus 8 equals 10. So what is x? X equals 2. That's the point where those two intersect. Okay? So what do you think will be the more difficult elimination problems that we might run into? Yeah, that would be more difficult. What was nice about this one in step 1? The first thing we did. The what? It was already, we already had 2 variables that were the same. So in problems where you don't have that, that's where they can be a little more difficult. So probably the first part of your homework will give you a few of these to get you started, where you're just going to be able to subtract or add right off the bat. And then you'll have some where they're not. That's what we're going to do next.